Welcome back once more. Well, Neville, Glenelg have a number of players that have had experience as we just go down and watch the tossing of the coin with former Sturt and South Australian coaching legend Jack Oatey. The player on the right for Port Adelaide is their captain, Russell Johnston, former Collingwood player. And Chris McDermott, when he arrives for the Tigers, will also be involved as their captain. And Glenelg just forcing them to play the waiting game at the moment.
Jack Oatey has coached Sturt from 62 to 82 for 7 grand finals here in South Australia and is a living legend. He tosses the coin. The Magpies win it and they go with what breeze there is here at Football Park.
So that breeze is favouring the right of screen. So that's a good start to the Magpies. And as I was mentioning before, Glenelg Football Club have a number of experienced players that have actually played across to the AFL border.
Indeed they do. Chris Duthie, John Fidge and another player, Tony Symonds, of course, have all had AFL experience. And Rick, those players will be a great value to the Glenelg Football Club today in their bid to win this premiership.
Yes, they certainly will, and it's amazing. I'm standing down here and I'm watching the Glenelg hierarchy here, and you should see them chew the chewy like fair dinkum. They're giving the chewy a real spin. Cornsey, Wayne Stringer, all the administration over here. But as you said, I think John Fidge is going to be a real strong point. And as I said to you before, Chidwitten and Bow on the boundary. Liptak, they've gone for that little bit of a speed, and if they can get the ball in there quickly, they'll be very, very hard to beat.
And on the other side of the ledger, Brian Cunningham, Port Adelaide also have a number of experienced players as we will just pause for the national anthem.
Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty. In history's page, let every state advance Australia fair. In joyful strains let us all sing, advance Australia fair.
Well, Kate Sobrano has well and truly set the scene here at the Football Park Stadium. Down on the boundary line is Brian Cunningham. Brian, I was mentioning before that the Port Adelaide side have a number of experienced players from across Team Victoria. Mark Williams has already shown his wares in last week's final.
Oh, he was tremendous. There was no doubt. Best player on the ground in last week's preliminary final. They've also got Greg Phillips playing at centre-half back, and he's a wealth of experience for Port Adelaide and for Collingwood over the years. And the Magpies are well served in the experience field, but they've also got, Kim, a lot of young talent there. Young Gavin Wanganeen going to Essendon next year is a super player.
And you just wonder what goes through a player's mind who's playing in his first premiership like that, Brian, at that age. Gavin Wanganeen, only a baby virtually, come onto the South Australian scene. He's a brilliant player. He must be very nervous right now.
It'd be an absolute blur to him, I would think, just from my own experience, Neville, that the week goes so quickly that you get to a position as you have in a grand final like this, and I mean, he probably won't remember too much of it. It'll be exciting.
It certainly will be, Brian, and we'll get back to you as the game progresses. It's now to our commentators, though, Ian Day and Graham Campbell.
Thank you, Kim. Good afternoon, everybody. What a marvellous sight here at Football Park. A crowd of 50,000 plus. A perfect day, just a slight breeze blowing from left to right, as you will see once we get back to the side camera. Port Adelaide has won the toss through Russell Johnston. He's going to kick to that end. It's not a great deal, but it's got to be worth a couple of goals. Graham, your opinion?
I know, Christian. Ian, in new terminology, we say how many scoring shots they are favoured by. Let's say 3 or 4 scoring shots to the golf course end.
The historical 1990 grand final. Port and Glenelg front for the last flag, as SA have known it for nearly 100 years. At the bounce, it's going to be Melican against Johnson. Stephen Williams sends the Magpies into attack. Marnie gets a bad one. Gibbs out to the outer side, giving chase out there will be Darren Smith. With him is Dean. Dean can't find the football. Hutton Back to Smith, around the corner, Ginever. Undercloud with the ankle injury, does it beautifully, slips it out. Hutton now puts it in towards goal, Hodges! And they thumped the ball away and through the goal line, and Port Adelaide has got the first score on the board.
And as expected, Ian, Chris Duthie opens up at full back. The custodian of Scott Hodges, the champion full forward in South Australia this year with 147 goals to his name so far.
And the ball was brought back into play by Ross Gibbs. The short pass went out to Tony Symonds. He searches for Thompson, didn't find that player, and the mark has been taken by Christie. Back to Symonds in the 1-2. He's opposed to Tregenza this afternoon, and little George Fiacchi takes a big grab from behind. We played 1 minute of the 1990 grand final. The ball in towards Ginever, out to Mark Williams. He searches for brother Stevens and finds him. Now not sure which way to go, trying to draw the player. He lets fly with a big torpedo punt. Underneath it is Marnie, but the ball has been pushed through for a point. Port Adelaide 2 points. Glenelg yet to get on the board.
Ross Gibbs, back pocket player for Glenelg, chose the safety first option, punched it through for a point only, and as Kim just said, 2 points on the board already to Port Adelaide with a minute 29 of play.
Gee, the Magpies had some loose players grandstand side. The Bays went chasing the football for a while, dropped their concentration. Beautifully put, Gibbs. Dean at centre wing, lost the football. Well done, Wanganini, got it back again. Johnson can't get it clear. Dean would need support. Hallahan in there, can't get it out. High tackle. And umpire Rick Kinnear will come in and give a free kick away to Brett Dean. Umpires Kinnear and Mark Mackey in charge.
Brett Dean picked on the bench, Ian, opens up as the wingman.
Terrible kick, went straight to his opposition. In Tregenza, puts it up for grabs. Smith out in front of the pack. Can't get there. Duthie in defence. Quickly now, Seabohm runs the ball to the line and takes it out in the right full forward pocket for Port Adelaide.
In fact, just checking that, Graham, and I think you'll find Tony Symonds is standing Simon Tregenza. He had reasonable success against that player last time the two sides met, as Bartlett tried to tap that down towards Salisbury. McDermott is there, but umpire Rick Kinnear will bounce in the right full forward pocket. Southern end of Football Park, the end the breeze is favouring.
Another player picked on the bench, Matthew Liptak, is starting in the actual opening 18 as second rover for Glenelg.
Well, there was no question that Graham Corns would not line up as named. It's a ploy he always uses as players desperately fight to take possession, unsuccessfully though. And once more Rick Kinnear will bounce. And Mark Mackey, the other umpire today, officiating in his first league grand final. So we talk of players being a little nervous. I can assure you that man would be nervous as well. Over the top, Abernathy gets the ball out towards Ginever under an injury cloud with a bad ankle, slips at the vital moment, gets it out towards Hines. He's been drafted by the West Coast Eagles. But his kick has been taken by Robbie Thompson. Puts it out wide, looking for Christie once more. The spoiler is Johnston, the captain. Fiacchi well down the ground. He doesn't mind kicking a goal, George. He handballed to no one in particular. Overran the football. He's still in there fighting. The handball goes to Marshall. Now Ginever an opportunity. Salisbury applies the heat. Marshall gets the kick away. Jameson had to dive desperately. Dean is there to lend support. But Johnson picked it up like a rover. It goes back to his opponent. His ruckman in Melican. He gets the kick down towards Christie. Rosonico did it well. Former Collingwood player. Mark Williams, brilliant handball. Out towards Darren Smith. Back to Greg Phillips. The Rock of Gibraltar puts one forward and finds Alan Bartlett.
Only two players in the Bay attacking division as Thompson takes it away for the Bays. Out wide, out towards centre wing. Liptak sets himself out there. That will be paid. Attack side of centre wing to put the Bays into attack for the first time. Jamison is clear. He'll get it next. Beautifully put. Jamison on the half-forward line. Out goes Fidge now on a lead. Gives him a chance. Fidge! Fidge is 40 out. Most acute angle. Not an easy kick by any stretch of the imagination. The breeze is coming in from his right to left. And a very important player in the Bays' quest for the 1990 flag. Takes his time to the lake end. Not a long kicker, not a straight long kicker. Kick underway, going across the face of goal. 1 point. The Bays have taken almost 5 minutes to get a score on the board.
And kicking into the breeze, that's not misunderstandable. That they are having trouble getting the ball into their forward line first of all, and secondly having a direct shot for goal. It's the first one, and John Fidge has drawn first blood for the Bays with that point.
For Rosonico to bring the ball back into play. Players form in a huddle, centre field. Rosonico Opts for the grandstand side. Not a bad looking kick. Looking for Greg Phillips. He was up high. Couldn't take it. Nigel Mansell could, though. As Mansell puts it forward. Fidge underneath. Big lead from Rosonico. Recovers well. The handball out towards Mark Williams. The crowd appreciate the defensive play of Port Adelaide as the ball is put out towards Hutton. Dean met him front on, and he'll be penalised for that. And David Hutton will receive the free kick. 5.5 minutes into the opening term. This is how it happened, and a little bit crude, and a little bit around the face area. Hutton, very courageous player, puts it up high. Underneath it was Thompson, couldn't control it. Back over the top, Bartlett there, going through solidly is Foster. Oh, so too McDermott. A dead heat situation.
Just looking over the field again, Kim, more changes by Glenelg to the selected team. Rod Jameson's gone to a half-forward flank, and Scott Salisbury's got Gavin Wanganeen, obviously his shadow for the day.
The Magpies by a point. Tregenza, clear, gives it a chance. Going to be offline, just a point only. And the speedy wingman has come down right from his wing to have a shot from about 35 metres out. Port goes on to 3 points. Glenelg is a point, and we've played 6 minutes of the 90 grand final.
Look at the huddle in the centre. They're going always, the players, from the kick in, and Ross Gibbs kicking out.
Well, it didn't pay off. Well, it did pay off for the Tigers. The short pass finds John Seabohm. He played in the 1988 clash between these two sides. Out to Bartlett, the back pocket player for the Tigers. Finds Jameson. One must question the move of him on a half-forward flank. He's been a star in defence. He drives it in long. The back of the pack, Rosonico couldn't control it. Off the ground there. Trying to soccer it forward was Murphy. Phillips, his opponent, gets the handball away. Little Hallahan tried to kick it. Murphy there again. Rosonico fighting strongly. And umpire Mark Mackey, a good piece of umpiring, allowing the players just to work things out for themselves, will now bounce on that outer side.
On the half-forward right flank, at the bounce, Murphy's in there, but it's Christie who gets the tap away. Coming through Foster towards the centre wing spot. The bounce will determine. Thompson gives chase, gets it well, hooked back towards the half-forward line. Christie's there, gets the fly away, can't find the football. Going through Mansell, looks for a runner. Marshall, here's a chance. Murphy, Fidge, 2-on-1. Fidge under pressure. Murphy wants the football. The handball's not all that good. Great tackling by Port Adelaide. Harris indeed loses the football as well. Marshall butters up for the bays. He's got one in the pocket if he can find him. Symonds, Murphy's clear. He ought to get it. He's going in longer. Looking up there for Christie. Christie sets. Big mark in front there by Christie. And he's got the ball about 25 metres right out in front.
Well, I was going to say that Tony Symonds took the wrong option there, going to Christie, because unmarked about 30 metres away was Murphy. But no, Christie was equal to the task, took the mark, and now should kick a somewhat easy goal.
30 metres out, dead in front. The Bays have got there first on the ball. No, correction, offline a point. Gee, Christie thought it was home.
Give a bloke a rap, Ian, every time they do it to you. I thought it was a goal, but it swung late, and the goal umpire obviously was in a better position than we are. 1 point only, and the Bays are now 1 point closer to the Port, obviously.
2 points plays 3 points. The Magpies in front as Rosonico kicks to the outer side. Fiacchi opted to stay out of that. He saw Abbott coming, and what a grab it was. Bruce Abernathy